Hello, everybody, and welcome to the season-ending edition of This Week in MD Fantasy Football. Our season is finally over, and our 2010 champion is Zach Wagner. He'll be our special guest tonight. Looking at the scores for this week, our final week, Zach took out Jim in the title game, 80-69. Nice job there for both of them. In the third place game was between our two division winners. Felipe beat Ryan 110-78, so good job, Felipe, getting third place. In Toilet Bowl 7, our consolation bracket championship, Brian beat Brandon 93-78, so good job, Brian. Remember, last week Greg beat Tyler for 5th place. In 9th place game, it was a real shootout as Dan took out Igo 60-43. In 11th place, Jeremy beat me 92-80. And in our 13th place game, Jason beat Jay 103-80. Again, in just a moment, we'll be joined by our 2010 champion, Zach Wagner. Looking really quick here at the players. Remember, $5 for the top player in each category. Zach ended up with Michael Vick with 364 points. He was over Brian's Tom Brady at 355. Running back, Ryan had Arian Foster with 301. Over Felipe with Adrian Peterson. Wide receiver tight end was me with my overachieving Dwayne Bowe with 212. He was over Brandon Lloyd with Dan. Defense, Brian was over Jason with the Steelers. They beat the Packers 183-170 there. And the kicker, Jeremy had Jim Bob's old sleeper, Sebastian Janikowski, with 151. And Akers for Tyler had 146. Well, right now we'll bring up our now 3-time champion of the league. He's 2004, last year, and this year now, and that's the one and only Zach Wagner. Come on up, Zach.
How you doing, everybody? Doing good.
Good. Congratulations on the title.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about your run to the title here. I know you went 7-6 in the regular season, number 6 seed.
Yeah.
That's the second time you've done that.
Yeah, the first year, 2004, everybody actually went to the playoffs that year, and I wasn't doing very good. Just kind of rode a wave and took it right to the championship. Kind of did the same thing again this year. Honestly, I didn't really expect to go too far. I know Tyler, my first matchup was pretty tough. Then I had to play Ryan, who the number 2 seed, so obviously he played pretty well, and just kind of got lucky and snuck by both of them, and then me and Jim Bob, of all people, ended up in the finals, so
yeah,
surprising
Jim with a good season there. He ended up, like we mentioned, he was 7-6 also,
right.
But he and Greg, I think, both beat you. You guys were all 7-6, but that's how you ended up the number 6.
Right.
But then you guys meet again in the final, and good for Jim. He ends up with the $150 for second.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So that's pretty neat. Really, I was talking a little bit before about Michael Vick you had the top quarterback. A little bit about him. I was like, what a great pickup for you there.
Yeah, that was tough because I originally drafted Cobb, and I didn't really feel good about that at all. Was kind of nervous about that pick. Actually was kind of happy when he got hurt, to be honest, because I didn't think he was going to do too well during the season. And just kind of picked up Vick, just hoping maybe he could, score a few more points. I know he had the running in him, so he could, he had more chances to score points, and he just absolutely was a monster this year.
Yeah, that's amazing, and it shows you too. Anything can happen. I scored a lot of points in the league. I didn't even make the playoffs. You were the number 6 and the number 5 seeds, and you met in the title game. So, and it's amazing. So
yeah, really, it's all about when you get hot. I mean, I even lost 2 coming into the playoffs. So like I said, I didn't expect to win anything, but it's all matchups and getting hot at the right time.
And looking too at real football, I know you're obviously a big Rams fan.
Yeah.
They got a big game this week, and they beat Seattle in Seattle to make the playoffs.
I don't see us losing to Seattle. I think we can take it. I don't have much faith in us in the playoffs, but judging by what I just did, hopefully maybe they can catch a little winning streak there, and a Super Bowl would be pretty nice.
Would that be 8-8 for them, or would they be 7?
Okay, so 8-8.
So nobody could bitch then about having a losing team.
Right. Not that I still don't think they should be in the playoffs, but if you win your division, I guess you go in. So
hey, they can host a game, so anything can happen.
That's true.
All right, well, we'll be back in a moment here with more with Zach, and we'll close out our program. But right now, we'll go to this message. We'll be right back right after this. Are you tired of finishing your fantasy football season with no trophy? Well, we've got a way for you to end up with a trophy just like this at the end of your season. Now available from 313 Publishing. Not sold in any stores. Limited edition hardcover Guide to Complete Domination in Fantasy Football by Zach Wagner. Zach, a three-time champion in one of the most premier fantasy football leagues in America, shares his secrets to winning. Zach's story is truly amazing. Rising from nothing to become one of the most accomplished owners in fantasy football history, he'll tell it all for you for only 5 payments of $99.99. This book, Complete Domination in Fantasy Football, can be yours. But act now in the next 5 minutes, and it'll be yours for only 4 payments of $99.99. And with valid email, get free email updates of Zach's up-to-the-minute strategies and philosophies of fantasy football. Order now. Operators are standing by. Dial 1555-FANTASY. That's 1555-FANTASY. Thank you. Well, we're back, and just going to wrap up the season too. Just going through a little bit. Wanted to mention too that we're going to be trying to have a party at the end here. We have about half the squad here that still owes like entry fees and all the other fees involved. Some people obviously will get money back, but we want to make sure we try to get together for that. So if we don't, then we'll try to have people send it or whatever. But just kind of real quickly going through again too, our top score of the year. Zach actually had that through week 10 with 145, but Jay ended up getting it in week 11 with 149 points. So good job, Jay gets $5 for that. And just running through again, the division winners were Ryan and Felipe. They both get $35 for that. Brian gets $25 for consolation winner. Also, third place then was Felipe with 100. Second place, Jim with 150. And Zach gets the title with $534 for that's our highest total ever too. So good job by Zach. And with that, we'll look forward to next year. Why don't we bring Zach back in here quick, see if get a last word from Zach here. Again, congratulations, Zach. Looking forward to the draft again in August, going for your 4th title.
Yeah, looking forward to it. 2 in a row is pretty tough to do, so hopefully I can make it 3. See what happens.
For sure. And I do have to apologize. In our other league, I beat you. I got my 2nd title in that league. So I actually go to the playoffs in a league, believe it or not. So, so with that, we'll see you next season for This Week in MD Fantasy Football. So long, everybody.